Hi, welcome back to another Crypto Dave video. So today's video we're doing another crypto passive income experiment. This is for week 23 and this will be the final update in its current form. I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail in a minute, but it will all become apparent as we go through the figures. So we're going to very briefly go through the figures and then I'll talk through the changes and why I'm kind of wrapping up this experiment early. So firstly, our crypto interest account, $16 from Lunar, $33 from Nexo. As you can see here, the amount invested has gone down to zero for everything apart from Ledden, and as of yesterday afternoon I actually withdrew this from Ledden. I took these figures before, I actually did that yesterday morning. If we move on to kind of staking, $4 from Cardano, $12 from Lunar. Now I sold off all the Lunar that was available. This is just the Lunar, so I've got about 1,500, something like that. That is vested. I can't do anything basically. It's kind of locked till the end of or beginning of next year, and then the last amount the end of next year. But I'm taking out the kind of rewards from that each week. So $12 from that. If we go over to the DeFi stuff, you'll see these are down to zero, everything apart from Solana as well. $36 from Polygon, $20 from Phantom, and $16 from Solana. Grand total this week of $137, and a grand total so far this year $59,180. If we jump into the DeFi pools, you can see nothing in Polygon or Phantom anymore, and just single-sided lending Solana on Frankium. But a big chunk of my Solana has been sold off now as well. I've only got about 150, something like that, Solana left in that kind of platform as well. If we jump over to the graphs, you can see our worst week essentially so far this year. Not really surprising with everything that's been going on with the price of kind of crypto and Bitcoin over the last week. And if we jump into the target income, you can see we're really almost back down to our kind of target. I think we'd reach that if we carried on next week. But let me just talk about why I'm kind of going to be wrapping that up. And essentially it's because I'm withdrawing all my kind of funds from the interest account platforms. Now, those of you who have been following this for a while will notice that I've been gradually moving stuff off of various platforms. I moved stuff off of Celsius actually a few weeks ago. I wasn't particularly happy with the direction things were going, not just the token price, but people unhappy with the platform as well. And then with the Lunar kind of UST thing and various other kind of things. So I was fortunate enough to remove all my coins from Celsius before they paused transaction withdrawals and stuff like that over the weekend. And on the back of that, I think, you know, if a platform like Celsius goes down, that contagion can spread to other platforms pretty quickly as well. That's why we withdrew everything from everything else. Now I'm more comfortable with Ledden possibly than most of these kind of platforms, but you know, the interest rates are not kind of great on any of these platforms anymore, particularly once you're holding a substantial amount of Bitcoin. So I've just withdrawn specifically all my kind of Bitcoin into cold storage, and the rest of the kind of coins I'm just kind of like either swapping for stable coins or moving back into Bitcoin and just streamlining everything a little bit as well. So there'll be nothing essentially coming in from the interest accounts. I still do have, I think it's 10,000 Cardano, whatever it is. And I'll continue to kind of stake those, and the Lunar that are kind of vested, I'll continue to kind of stake. So they will trickle on in the background, but I don't think it's worth doing updates purely because of that. And then the Solana, you know, I've been gradually kind of cashing this out over the last kind of few weeks as well. So I'm down to just like 100 or so. It doesn't seem much point doing a weekly kind of video based on just a couple of kind of staking coins and maybe a tiny little bit in kind of DeFi. I've been withdrawing all my liquidity from these different kind of networks as well. So I did make a move about a month or so ago to move stuff back into more stable kind of like pools. So I swapped most stuff back out into USDC pools. So I swapped into sort of like a Phantom USDC. I had a Matic USDC pool, and that kind of has helped me certainly over the last kind of week or so. As a drop, everything else is kind of like a drop down. I basically took all the liquidity out of those kind of pools, and we've had a little bit of a bounce back today. So I've actually sold a lot of stuff like kind of Phantom into USDC, and I'm kind of like consolidating this on one kind of like network as well. Holding a load of stuff in USDC. We'll have to see what happens with the kind of markets, but I'd like to have some more in dollars at the moment, not just to kind of buy the bottom, but for also sort of other sort of real world expenses. I'm currently in the process of looking for a moving house, so that's obviously going to be relatively kind of expensive. So holding some more stuff in USDC And indeed, kind of cashing out into kind of like British pounds here makes a little bit more sense than holding loads of stuff in sort of assorted kind of altcoins at the moment. So that's why I'm going to be wrapping up this experiment. I don't think it's worth doing a weekly update, purely just for, you know, as I mentioned, you know, a few dollars from a handful of kind of staking coins that I may or may not hold on to for the next few weeks. So a little bit disappointing in a way. This is the first time I've stopped one of these experiments, these kind of like yearly experiments early since I think I started doing them back in 2017, and we've, you know, ridden that kind of like bull market up, and then the following bear market, and then last year's kind of bull market all the way back up, and then currently down this year as well. So we've been through some sort of like turbulent kind of times, and we've done a mixture of kind of experiments over those kind of years, staking coins, masternode coins, you know, comparisons between different things, you know, trading profits, staking, DeFi, interest accounts, lots of different kind of things over the last few years. So I'm a little bit disappointed to be wrapping this up early, but I just don't think there's any kind of value in continuing to pump out videos without really anything of interest in them. I will continue to do the Friday afternoon kind of videos, so that is the crypto interest accounts and news. So we'll be looking in more detail in Friday, particularly into the Celsius situation, but also looking maybe at kind of news in the industry and whether that kind of contagion potentially could spread to other platforms as well. So you know, I won't be kind of going completely or anything like that, but just this particular series will be wrapping up now. What I might do is, if I get back into some of these things, I might do an update right at the end of the year just to see where we ended up in comparison to our kind of target. I think we'll be nowhere kind of near the kind of target now of 130,000, but I might just do an update right at the end of the year just to keep people kind of abreast of where we ended up throughout the kind of like year. But thanks very much for watching as always. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video, but until then, have a great day. Bye bye.